The other thing is that exactly like you said earlier, that music has gotten bite sized, and like pop music in particular has gotten bite sized. So where if it's a 30-second TikTok, it fits really well and it plays really well in it. Like, does that worry you from a music criticism perspective that that's having a bigger impact on music?
I don't really see that as TikTok's fault. I think, I think so as far as like the TikTokification of music, like I think we've gone through kind of two eras in a way. We're moving out of kind of the Spotify inspired playlistification of music, where you have artists making tracks that are so goddamn bland so that they are as wallpaper as possible, so that they just fit into a playlist that's just one homogenized vibe, and then you can just like kind of move through it without skipping anything or moving to another track or going to another playlist, because it just kind of flows together out of just sheer blandness. There's that. The TikTokification of music, I think, has led to a lot more people and artists and producers to reevaluate the necessity of a hook or some kind of earworm or something. We need a crazy,
Yep.
poppy, catchy, just absolutely nutty part in the song that sort of like will stick and people will sort of like throw into a TikTok and da 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 da. Now, from there, the mess that that's created is that um, the artist in question will just kind of worry and focus on that one part, and then the rest of the song be damned. Now, while you could attribute some of that to TikTok, you also have to attribute it to the fact that like Spotify kind of inspires the process in that the song only needs to be a certain length for it to be of any value. It only needs to
Right.
be streamed to a certain extent for it to be of any value. Like if there was actually any larger incentive there to make the song anything else other than just like, a little snippet with some beginning and end on it, that would be different. While I am happy and I think it's a net positive, the way that TikTok has again created a bit of a refocus on the necessity for the hook. It's really kind of Spotify and it's the streaming platforms and it's the delivery method that essentially says to artists, hey, monetarily speaking, if you're making like a catchy little bop for, the kids, you're going to make way more money coming out with a song that is 1 minute and 30 seconds than you would coming out with a song that's 3 minutes and 30 seconds and like properly developed and so on and so forth. So, it's really just almost like, I don't know, it's almost like a con in a way. And
Mm-hmm.
sort of like, that's really what kind of ruins the artistic process there.
Well, that's part of the problem with streaming, right? Like,
Yeah.
the part of the problem with streaming is that streaming has made it where to be a successful musician, right? Unless you are like a tour behemoth and you sell out routinely your live ticket sales, which during the pandemic was not possible for anyone because just live events went nowhere. Unless you are the live ticket behemoth, to sustain on streaming, you have to be beyond viral. Viral's not good enough anymore. Like you really have to be everything because I mean, we've seen even big artists that make a lot of money say this kind, talk about this kind of stuff. And what's interesting about that is like we're talking like hundreds of millions of listens to be well off in the music industry, and I think that's different than CDs. It's different than iTunes. Like iTunes wasn't even that way. At least there was a better value proposition there, but like streaming's completely changed the game as it comes to music monetization.
Yeah, that and the algorithms. I mean, you say that virality isn't enough. On the internet now, because of all the various platforms and, different social media sites and pipelines that you could become popular within, there's different levels of virality and there's different kinds of virality. Like you can have a track, and I've seen people like this on TikTok before. It happens all the time. You could have a track that literally within a matter of days, because of the fact that it gets, turned into a meme or a sound or this or that, essentially just goes platinum, within a matter of moments, like literally an overnight, platinum hit. But um, through the process of that, the person who made the song, while they do get attribution, obviously they're getting that platinum plaque. Obviously they are getting streams off of the track. It's almost like the popularity kind of comes down to the song and not so much the person who made it. And so that's like almost like a disconnect between that person and the popularity of the thing they created. And that doesn't necessarily mean, oh, hey, you like this thing that I made, like come on over here, pay attention to this other stuff. Especially on the TikTok platform, they essentially make it difficult to kind of like enter into kind of the conversation as the creator of something and say, hey, I made this thing that all of you really like. Come and check out these other things that I did. It almost like kind of puts a certain kind of virality in a vacuum. You know what I mean? Just because a certain thing that you do or created gains viral success does not necessarily mean that there is personal interest in you, you know, or that people are attaching that thing that they enjoy to you or associating it with you, which I do find a little disturbing, you know, because I mean that's like potentially somebody's livelihood that you're ripping from them. You're giving them a platinum song, but you're not actually giving them the benefit of being able to gain an audience off the popularity of that, you know.
Yeah.
Because you know, again, these kinds of tracks are popping off all the time, and you know, these people get stuck with these plaques, but then after that they are not a household name, they're not well known. Maybe a label is like willing to sign them, but you know, most likely they're not going to get like a great deal because they know that they probably have very little in terms of audience or following, and that the likelihood of them getting another track that is that hot is probably low. And they're just going to come in and buy the rights to the song, their most popular song probably, and then own the rights to that, and then screw them on royalties for everything else that they make. So you know, it's a pretty ugly system. You know, I mean, it's something similar happened to me with sort of the whole weird pizza thing on TikTok with the too many slices sound, which I did. And you know, it's like at the end of the day, it's no skin off my ass because like I have so many other irons in the fire going on. I don't really give a shit what happens with the sound of me yelling at a pizza or whatever. But it's just really funny how that sort of went so far and wide and hit so many people that there's like millions of people that know that sound that have no idea that I made it. You know what I mean? Which, like, again, I already have so many other things going on for me. It's not like, you know, killing me that that's not associated with me. But for somebody who literally has nothing to their name other than, hey, I have this popular song on TikTok or this popular sound, you know, and for them to
Yeah.
not see any kind of benefit off of that whatsoever, like that's terrible. That's awful. Not everybody's
Well,
in the position that I'm in.
thanks for watching Visionaries on YouTube. For more content, please subscribe to the Overcome channel.